The Alabama-Tennessee game was one of the wildest college football games I've ever seen. And to make it even crazier, after the game, Tennessee fans rushed the field and took down both goalposts. But before we look at this, let's see how Tennessee narrowly beat Alabama. Starting on Saturday, there was 4 undefeated teams in the SEC. Georgia ranked number 1, Alabama ranked 3rd, Tennessee ranked 6th, and Ole Miss ranked 9th. But only 3 would remain after this Tennessee-Alabama matchup. After both teams failed on their opening drive, Tennessee drove down and got the ball to the 1 yard and then punched in a 1-yard touchdown, taking an early 7-0 lead. Bryce Young, though, wasn't phased as he showed he had no problem driving down the field as he threw for 455 yards throughout this game. Bryce Young then led Alabama inside the 10, which set up a Gibbs rushing touchdown, his first of 3 of the day, tying the game at 7. Throughout the game, Alabama bailed out Tennessee on multiple third downs as flags were a big problem for the Crimson Tide. They gave up 17 penalties for 130 yards. As Tennessee started driving down the field, they capped off their drive as Hooker found Hyatt for a 36-yard touchdown. Jalin Hyatt had a monster game, shattering records as he had 207 yards, 5 touchdowns only off of 6 receptions. Tennessee then got the ball back, still up by 7 after forcing an Alabama punt. With a short field to work with, Tennessee quickly scored again with Hyatt's second touchdown of the day, taking a 21-7 lead. Bryce Young then got his team down the field, but the Crimson Tide had to settle for a field goal. Alabama's defense then shut down Tennessee on their next drive. But on a botched punt, an Alabama player tried to pick the ball up off the ground and muffled it, turning the ball over to Tennessee. Nick Saban lost it. What are you doing? What are you fucking doing? I understand why Saban was mad though, because this was a stupid play on Alabama and really hurt the team. It was a terrible punt by Tennessee, which the ball bounced and rolled almost to a complete stop. As the ball was about to stop rolling, an Alabama player tried to pick it up and then muffed it. I don't know what was going through his brain there, but a terrible play by Alabama. This quickly led to another Tennessee touchdown with a long pass and a quick rush to take a 28-10 lead. Bryce Young and the Crimson Tide then got back down the field, scoring another touchdown, lowering the lead to 11. Alabama forced a punt and got down the field once again, but were forced to kick another field goal, lowering the lead to 8. The game went at halftime with Tennessee up 28-20 after an almost successful Hail Mary. Number 15 had a great chance to catch this ball, but tipped it up in the air. Then after a few deflections, he had another chance to dive out and catch it, but it was too far out of his reach. Starting the second half, Tennessee got the ball across midfield, but then failed for it on 4th and 2, turning the ball over. And actually on this play, they forgot what down it was. The refs had this on 3rd down, but it was actually 4th down they were going for it. Then they had to have like a 20-minute review to check what down it was, which I don't understand why a review to check what down it was would take that long, but Bryce Young had a great pass down the sideline, getting the ball just outside the red zone, which led Gibbs to punch in his second touchdown of the day. Alabama then went for 2 and tied the game up at 28 from another incredible Bryce Young pass. Then Tennessee instantly answered with a Jalin Hyatt 60-yard touchdown bomb to take a 35-28 lead. Nick Saban was already speechless about his corners, but he doesn't even know what's yet to come. Then this man's missed the extra point, so it was actually only a 6-point lead. The ball back in Young's hand, he continued to scramble and avoid sacks and continue to find open wide receivers. I mean, look at this dime from Young. Alabama then actually scored a touchdown, but it was called back due to a holding call. Then on 3rd and goal from about the 16, Bryce Young ran around like Kyler Murray for a while and then threw the ball up and it was incomplete. But then a pass interference call kept the drive alive and Alabama then finally got their touchdown. With a 1-point lead, Alabama intercepted an overthrown ball. Alabama was then forced to punt and Tennessee got the ball back. Then Jalin Hyatt scored another huge touchdown, this one being for 78 yards to retake the Tennessee lead. Tennessee successfully went for 2 to go up by 7. The Crimson Tide then drove down the field, and on 4th and goal, Bryce Young made a great play, scoring another Alabama touchdown, tying the game at 42. This game seemed like it was going to keep going back and forth until Tennessee fumbled the ball on their next drive, and Alabama quickly scored a touchdown, taking a 49-42 lead. The running back thought Hooker kept the ball and didn't even realize it was a fumble until it was too late. Then Alabama actually stopped Tennessee on 3rd and 6, but a pass interference call kept the drive alive. Then with 4 minutes left of the 4th quarter on 4th and 5, Hooker threw what looked to be a game-losing interception, but another pass interference call kept the drive alive. On the very next play, Hyatt then caught his 5th receiving touchdown, tying the game at 49. Bama then had a chance to win the game and with about 40 seconds left got into field goal range. But on 2nd and 10, this drop pass really hurt Alabama because they failed on 3rd and 10, and for the go-ahead field goal, the kicker missed it wide right, giving Tennessee a chance to take the lead. On Tennessee's first play of the drive, they had a great completion, getting over midfield and then called a timeout with about 9 seconds left. Then, as time was running down, Hooker made a great completion, getting the ball within the 25 with 2 seconds left as Tennessee used their last timeout. It would have been crazy, but if Alabama could have, instead of tackling the wide receiver, just held him up for another 2 seconds, the game would have went into overtime. The Tennessee kicker then came up and barely made the game-winning field goal. Poor Bryce Young, maybe he'll win the Heisman again. After Tennessee won, it was crazy as fireworks were being shot off and all the fans started rushing the field. Fans started rocking the goalpost for a while and got on top of it and eventually broke it free of the ground. Now with all this going on, I just want to know if someone got hurt, because I feel like someone had to have got hurt when the goalpost collapsed. And then you got all these people transporting the goalpost to who knows where. I mean, this place was packed. Anyway, crazy win for Tennessee, and this definitely puts them in the conversation of who's going to go into the college football playoff. And if they got it, do you think they would win? Comment below.